Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of
Taste Buddies!
Okay, we heard you. We got a lot of feedback from the last few episodes, and it seems like a lot of people want to see us cook food. And so this episode will be very serious and in-depth discussion about food. In particular, I've chosen this topic, food pairing. Why do some food taste good together, and why some food don't, right? Like, like there are some combination of ingredients which is just heavenly, right? Cheese and burger, right? Cheese and burger, onions and pickles. It's just one of those classic combinations that is so heavenly. I don't think you can make it better. Or can you? Because this guy is here. And also we've got like traditional recipes which have been handed down from generation to generation. Like a fried rice, like sweet and sour pork, like char siu and all that sugar and pork caramelized stuff. It's so age old, right? We never question why does it taste delicious.
It's a norm, right? We accept as it is.
Yeah, you can tell, right? This topic is a bloody rabbit hole, right? I told you guys before the shoot, right? I've gone down such a deep rabbit hole that I can't actually believe a simple question like this has brought me to like almost a new sort of understanding of myself and the food that I eat, right? So before we go down that rabbit hole, right, let's kick it off with something fun, which is the food porn section of the show. What I've told these two dudes is that we will sort of make a food pairing, a recipe that we've come across in our F&B journey. And we've chosen the vessel of a burger to show off this pairing. Let's kick it off maybe with Renyi first, because he's the Burger King.
Ken.
Oh, Burger King.
I'll take Burger Clown.
Strike.
I'm the Burger Clown, okay? Or engineer. Today what I want to serve is something that we've made before at Burger Lab. It's quite controversial when we first served it. It's a watermelon lychee beef burger. Right, we can talk about other flavors that we have done before that is also controversial, but why I came to this combination, I'll explain a little bit more later. But what you will get, right, is a contrast in temperature. So the watermelon lychee is actually cold, the beef is actually nice piping hot.
Okay, maybe don't tell us that before we eat.
No, I want to set the expectation. You let me know if you can get that
that
level.
But it's got a good name. What's the name of the burger? I remember when it came out, it was one of the best burgers I've ever had.
Well, hopefully, I didn't do that today. It's called a water balloon. So when you bite into it, it feels like you're getting hit in the face by a water balloon.
Yes, it's got a name that goes, that's on par with the experience of the burger. That's what I thought when I first had it. So I don't mind re-experiencing it. I think Jun, have you had it before?
I have never had it before.
Not a Burger Lab fan.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we need to talk about
calling me out.
Okay, I'm gonna get into the kitchen. I'll be back.
Yeah.
So we have the buns, we have the watermelon, we have the lychee, and the beef patty with cheese and a little bit of pepper on top. And to start off, we will have our signature egg sauce, which is made of mayo, mustard, and ketchup.
Mayo, mustard, and ketchup.
Yeah. This one usually there's lettuce, but I'm not a proponent of lettuce today, so I'm gonna skip that. Right. Now, let's see. We're gonna have this at the bottom first. So this is cold, yeah?
Oh, change, huh?
Cold.
Okay.
I'm switching things up today.
Yeah.
Now, watermelon, I don't know if you guys had this combination before. I always think it tastes better with a little bit of salt. It brings out the sweetness, but not too much, just enough that it complements it. Okay, next we'll have the nice beef patty with cheese. Top here, let's see.
I'm gonna ask the auntie question. Does it go with chicken?
What?
It does. It actually does.
Yeah.
Right?
The auntie question is, this one nice
This one nice what's the price
Okay. So that's it. The burger is done.
Wow.
Just need a little bit more.
sauce on top.
Yeah, sorry, I ejaculated some burger sauce over.
So this burger was actually on the menu of my Burger Lab during the early days. Why was it ever taken off?
It wasn't doing well. People didn't dare spend 18 ringgit on such a product.
Well, actually,
But I guess people want like consistency there.
that point, we have to remember that point for our discussion later. I think that one is also.
But here's the thing: people who had it, are like really
Can't forget
surprised.
it. I heard there's a burger joint in New York, right? You buy one burger, the lady will charge you for 2 burgers, and she's gonna tell you you're gonna need another one.
Oh man!
That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
Okay, so today the watermelon is a little bit thicker than usual, but we shall see how that goes.
Oh man, is that enough food porn for everyone? I don't know. Let's make more noises. Oh,
So,
Renyi, my God, Renyi, dude. Oh man. Oh, Renyi.
I hope you guys don't mind the beef patty being a little bit on the medium
Oh
rare side.
man. Oh, your patty is so juicy as well. Oh my God, did you guys see the cross section? Did you see it?
Alright, eat it while it's still hot.
okay. Oh, well, it's still cold. The watermelon.
Yeah.
Hot and cold, yes.
This is definitely a mouthful, man.
Squish it.
Okay.
Wow. Dude. You know, right? The changing of the position actually matters, bro.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Okay,
Wait, did it taste better now that you switch it?
I feel like I'm confused.
Go. Turn it around. Yeah. Yeah, you correct. Wow, I feel like I'm in a boxing match, right? It's like things just come at you like, wow. It just bombards me.
Actually, flip it around better.
So watermelon should be on top. You want the meat first.
Because you feel the
Meatiness.
meatiness and savouriness of the beef first,
Yeah.
and after that the watermelon.
I think the lychee needs to be on top of the watermelon as well, like last time.
Noted.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't expect it to have such a big effect also.
Okay, we need a sound bite of that watermelon taste. So you need to bite and you need to suck at the same time. Yeah.
I guess it's
Another
me.
one.
Will it be so crunchy?
And you got a good watermelon today as well. It's so sweet and juicy. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's squirting, bro. It's squirting on everywhere, bro. Look at your juices. It's true.
Actually, the first bite I have like the original way up. Yeah, I was very confused because like first it was like taste the watermelon first.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm expecting this to be like a appetizer or like a fruity or a dessert or something. And then beef come in and then I'm just confused. But when it's the other way around, it's like the beef first, then I'm like, oh, okay, beef. And then after that, oh, it just like washes over you like the very refreshing taste.
Yeah, then you want to go for the next bite again with
True.
Yeah.
Noted on the build. So this is also, I think, a very good topic to talk about. The construction of a burger makes a whole lot of a difference.
Wow. I think I need another one because it makes you feel like it's not heavy. It actually makes the burger feel so light.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, right? Because your hand is telling you it's huge, but it's so light.
So if I may share a little bit about how I got this inspiration, it was actually from Swine, the restaurant Swine at BIG supermarket.
I had that salad as well.
Yes, the salad was a lychee watermelon salad with steel yolk.
Yeah.
So that saltiness, that crispness. So it's a little bit like the pancetta with
Melon.
melon.
Yeah.
But you know, right? In that salad, what was the actual crazy pairing? It was a sesame seed. So it was watermelon, bacon, and sesame seed. That was the pairing that really shocked me. Yeah.
I had the steel yolk version, which I thought the steel yolk was very special and that. So I thought, hey, I want to do a halal version of that. And I thought, if that meat works, I just need to make sure the meat is salted, right? The watermelon is salted, it will come true.
It reminds me a
it's
bit
so
of
good.
like sweet and sour pork
I need
with
another
lychee.
one, man.
Yes,
And I put lychee
yes.
as
There
well.
is that as well.
And I heard there's one restaurant, I'm not sure where, but they do like watermelon pork, something like that.
Yeah.
I think New
What
Paris.
restaurant?
New Paris
New
has a
Paris.
dish like that.
New Paris. Watermelon and pai quat.
It's called
pai quat wok.
champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called watermelon champagne.
Ah.
Yeah. But we need to have more fruits, or consider having more fruits in our food combination, because there's always a pantang. Why you put fruit inside, right? The biggest argument is always pineapple in pizza, right? So for me, I'm always a proponent. Hey, look, can we push the limit a little bit? Add that fruity sweetness into a savory product. That's how this came about.
But at the same time, I can also see why, like, I probably won't order this like every
All the
day.
time, yeah.
Like, and if I compare it against like a regular like burger,
Cheeseburger.
my burger life or not, like cheeseburger, I think I'll probably go for the cheeseburger like 80-90% of the time.
Yeah, agreed. So this is like a feature piece of
Yes,
sort, right?
yes, yeah.
If I bring it out once a month or once every few months, right, you'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta try this.
Cool.
But this hopefully gives idea to, because it's so simple, you can make this at home.
Yeah. Actually, like I've got a few memories that pop up in my head straight away right now. There's another combination of watermelon and feta cheese as well.
Yes.
So feta cheese and cucumber is quite a popular one.
So I think we like that contrast of sweet, salty, and in fact, my philosophy is if you can add a little bit of heat, a little bit of acidity, it should not all stand out. You know what you want as primary taste, and then you have the other as supporting character.
Whoa, you might. I don't know. My next one is a bit crazy. So.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay, guys. I'm going to do a burger that I did with Renyi before during one of his burger battles. I wanted to convince him to roll out this burger, but apparently it's too controversial.
No, it's too difficult to roll.
No, too difficult to roll. Actually, the burger was actually quite simple.
It's so good. I love it.
The burger was actually quite simple. The last time I did it with him is basically just a play on the fried ice cream. So it's hot hash brown and ice cream, and a bit of a sweet jelly. But this time I've gone further down the rabbit hole. So what it is, I'll explain in layers. First, we have the hash brown. Alright, so this is the savory part. Then I decided to add a Heinz ketchup jelly, right? So this one, it's just a play on
the cheese.
Yeah, a cheese. So it's something which is supposed to be savory. I turn it into like a dessert form, right? So it goes on top.
But what I like about this part here, it acts as an insulation between the hot and the cold.
Yeah. And so this one is more like because the jelly is very slippery. And also to complement the ice cream that you're gonna add in later, I put in a bit of
friction, is it?
Yeah, so it's friction. Yeah, so put in a bit of a toasted.
No, it was correct because
almond,
when we did it the last time, the ice kept sliding off the jelly.
Yeah.
So this is smart.
A bit of toasted. Okay, and then I'll have the patty. So this one we're using inside scoop. I'm kissing ass. Inside scoop.
Vanilla ice cream,
which I cut straight from the tub. Right.
So did this burger win the
Oh yeah,
battle?
it did.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I need a tissue. Just walked off like that. What kind of cooking show is this? Okay, so now we got the ice cream component. It's supposed to look sexier than that, but done.
Okay, once it starts melting, it looks good.
Yeah. So another layer of friction because ice cream and nuts. Okay, you know the combination, right? Okay, and so this is the other component that I added because there's this recipe with ice cream, strawberry, and balsamic, right? So rather than using balsamic, I've actually marinated, or the actual correct term is called macerated. So it's macerating the strawberries with a bit of balsamic and a bit of ketchup, right? In this case, I use quite a thick ketchup like the ABC or the pre-made sambal ketchup.
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah. So this one is like a...
So today's episode all not sponsored by this.
Yeah, well, they can if they want to.
Heinz? Was it? ABC?
I'm not too sure if they want to be standing next to each other. It's like, hi.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, now that looks atas-ish.
I'm trying my best. Because I don't know the proportion, so I'm just going to whack it. Okay? Okay, so...
no.
Looks good.
A bit of the sauce.
The last ingredient is what scares me most.
Yeah, actually.
But I can imagine it working.
Okay.
I'm game enough to play.
And so the last ingredient is coriander, and this one is not by me. This one is what Heston.
Hey, can you just own your creation now?
Yeah, this is you, okay? You are doing
You
this.
decided to.
Yeah.
So I'm just
go
gonna
for
put a
it.
decent amount, I think. If not, you won't taste it.
I think in my head, I can brain this until he put the coriander on.
But it looks good. The color arrangement.
It looks good,
It makes me like want to eat it. If you sell this as a dessert, no problem. But don't tell me it's a burger.
Now I cannot brain already with the coriander.
Okay.
Not that I don't like.
Yeah, but as controversial as it is, right? I've had bitter gourd ice cream in Malaysia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, go cut it. I'm gonna get us plates.
Oh, cutting it will be fun for you.
By
Yeah,
cutting it, I'm going through the crunches. Like, I think it's great. Like that layer, I can feel it.
No, you guys go ahead first. I'll eat it off you or something. Yeah.
It's off me. I put it on my
No, I mean,
chest and then you eat it
Okay,
off.
I'll eat that half.
alright. Let me.
Oh, this is,
Oh.
Looks like a Christmas creation.
it looks so dirty.
The coriander, I still cannot. But
Dirty and messy.
okay, like,
Okay,
it looks
let's go.
a lot of
before it melts.
contrast.
Because I want
Thanks.
the temperature to still be there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go for it first then.
Ooh, you want it?
Coming through. Holy mama.
I hope you get the strawberry notes.
Oh my god, this is a messy one.
I'm damn curious now. Oh, too
Hey.
weird.
Did you have blueberry jam and peanut butter last time?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
True
yeah.
that.
It's not the same, but that being said, it's an interesting combination. However, we don't get the heat. We don't get the. Like, it works, but it's not like wow. It works.
Okay.
Okay, so expected hash browns in a burger bun with like bread, ice cream, almond, nuts. They all combine really well together.
Damn.
Then you plus the strawberries. Actually, it works really well. So the strawberries is like sweet and salty. But that doesn't work. I don't know, the coriander is still throwing me off.
Wow.
He enjoys it.
Yeah. There is something to it.
Maybe he's biased.
I think it's like 70% there to me. I think it needs more work.
Yeah.
Wash your hand.
My God. Okay.
I think flavor wise though,
Oh,
I would say, I'm not sure whether it's the ice cream and hash brown, but I prefer this over the watermelon one.
oh, I'm slightly insulted, but okay. No, fair. I think this is what I would describe as
It's more easily likable.
Oh.
Would you say that? Maybe because of the ingredients. Because people like hash browns, people like ice cream.
Actually,
More than they do watermelon.
If we do a blind tasting, what do you think will happen?
I think it's a dessert. Right.
Right, if I put all these ingredients
yeah.
on a spoon into your
It's
mouth
a
without
dessert.
you knowing, right?
It's a dessert.
Wow. Okay, we gotta talk about this.
That was a trip.
That was a trip, right? Okay, Renyi, start. I think Renyi is very strongly opinionated about this.
Well,
Let's go.
I had your first version.
Yeah,
A lot more
okay.
simpler.
Yeah.
It was just jelly, hash brown, ice cream. I believe there was blueberry jam and peanut butter. I'm not sure, but it's around that range.
Yeah.
I had it. I was like, man, this is so good. I want to have it over and over again. And when you explained the word to me, juxtapose, right? It's contrasting in terms of texture, in terms of temperature, in terms of flavor, like salty, sweet, right? That to me was like, oh wow, this is like really, really contrasting in all aspects. So I was mind blown by that. This one, maybe because the hash brown was pre-cooked ahead of time, it wasn't as hot, so I didn't get the heat at all. It was just all cold, which is fine, nothing wrong with that, right? In terms of contrasting flavor, I felt it was all sweet. I didn't taste any element of saltiness. Maybe a bit of savoriness from the balsamic, a little bit, but it was all sweet. So it didn't excite me as much as before, but look, it's a good dish.
Yeah, I think for me, right, it's like what you said at the end, especially. I think I believe that because like for me, it's like when you add two ingredients together, like 1 + 1, it should equal more than 2. It should like 3 if you can. But in terms of, I think for your burger, right, it's like the ice cream, the hash brown, the nuts in between like bread. I think that combination just naturally works really well. And you add the strawberries in, makes it more than the sum of its parts. But the thing that I think took away from it a bit was the coriander. I didn't think it quite fit in there. Maybe it added like a bit of freshness.
Okay.
But I think perhaps that freshness can come from a different ingredient. I didn't think like it made it like 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah, and I put
It's
very
like,
little also.
Yeah, it's 1 + 1 equals like just 2. It's just like okay. It doesn't add to
It
the
wasn't
dish.
bad.
Yes,
right?
it wasn't bad. Yeah.
But it didn't elevate the dish.
Yeah. And maybe I was a bit surprised that it wasn't bad. It was like surprising
Oh,
that
wow, it worked.
it was actually
Worked.
okay,
Yeah.
but I just didn't like push the dish forward. Yeah.
Actually, I think like you guys definitely don't know what you're talking about because it's one of the greatest thing I've eaten in the past few years.
Like that just now
Yeah,
was the best thing you've eaten in the past few years.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
serious, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
I know your
okay.
ego is inflated.
No,
but
before
more inflated than my water balloon.
Before I get accused being biased or because of my ego or whatever, you know, right? When you watch the episode in French, right? You know the episode of Christmas episode where Joey was told to make the trifle. So he made a trifle, but he put meat in it because he was so stupid, right? And then everyone was like, I think everyone,
This is
my
a Friends episode we're talking about.
So all my friends were also like, oh, you disgusting, you. It's like custard and fruits and jelly and meat and everything. Ew. But you know, right? I was sitting there. I'm thinking, actually, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having a go. And I love that at the end of the episode, right? They show Joey sitting there alone, eating at it, and he says, "I don't see what's the what's the big deal.
But
What's
here's the
the big
thing: we're not
problem?"
saying it's gross.
Yeah. We're not.
Yeah, but
evil,
We're not saying it's the
No, but it's
best
that-
thing we've had in months.
But for me, okay, and I explain why. And I explain why. Inside my head is like a lot of knobs. If I were the composer or whatever, I would turn up the coriander, I would turn up the strawberry, and I would actually turn up the chili a bit more, spice a bit more. Yeah.
Was that hit in this one just now?
So I think the chili ketchup, cause I got cold feet just now. I didn't put so much cause I wasn't
Here's
sure.
the thing: if you say that your chili ketchup was a little bit more prominent, I can see how that.
And the ketchup also, I would love the Heinz to come through also. In fact, I was thinking of making a Heinz ice cream also. Okay, and a little bit of background about why I chose this combination is because there's a few combination that came out from Heston, which is the guy who actually kicks off the entire topic, which is the flavor theory, which we will jump into the discussion later. So he was playing around and then he's got all this testing and all. So he said strawberries and coriander, strawberries and spring onion actually go well together. And then there's also this thing where balsamic and ice cream go well together. And there's also another thing where ice cream and ketchup goes well together. So I made those links and I just threw everything and just to see whether it works or not. But that's the background of it, right? So next,
Sure.
I think this is one of the stranger ones. Yeah.
Really? Maybe not to me. But yeah, let me go prepare.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. I'm hungry actually. Wow, my saliva is like all coming out.
Okay, so I am making a kimchi peanut butter burger. Sounds a bit odd, but I actually like kimchi and peanut butter. It's like some people do like the flavor combination, although it at first might seem a bit odd. I've tried it separately before, but I've never actually made this burger like this before.
Yeah.
You tried it separately as in the
just kimchi and
just
peanut
kimchi
butter.
and the peanut butter.
Yeah. I think it's okay. Yeah.
Actually, just now
not appalled by it.
because I always forget peanut butter is very Asian. When people say peanut butter, I always forget it's actually like satay sauce lah. Really.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do use it in our dishes.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned before in ramen, right? Kimchi ramen, you add peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Yeah.
I think there are recipes out there that uses the same combination.
First, on the bottom this is a gochujang mayo.
QP.
Yeah, QP and gochujang. So I just like mixed it together.
Oh, you put it in the bottle.
Yeah, I put it back into
nice.
the bottle.
Walao, that's dedication, man.
Why?
It's a free bottle.
Just like you
Yeah,
said,
it's
me
free water.
kasu, look at him, he put back the sauce into the bottle, way.
Okay, should be enough.
I don't even know how to
Rich in
open the
Taiwan.
lid.
Huh?
I don't even know how to unscrew only.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Then I'll put peanut
Peanut
butter on the top bun. Okay, so peanut butter on the
That's quite a
top.
significant
It's quite a lot,
amount.
Yeah. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel the peanut
feel
butter
You gotta feel
and
on
the
top of my-
kimchi.
Okay.
At the roof of my
So it's
mouth.
like the cheese that melts almost like when it flows down, hopefully. Okay,
Oh, saliva, man.
then I will put, just use hands lah.
Yeah, go for it.
The patty, bottom, and then I'll put the kimchi.
It's nice to see.
You stir fry the kimchi, is it?
Yes.
Why
So
did
this
you do that?
Kimchi. So when kimchi comes in the bottle like this, it's usually quite wet, and
Oh, yeah,
when it's also very like sour and acidic. Some kimchi lah. This one is actually is. So when you saute it a bit, the flavor sort of mellows, and it's like it also becomes less
That's a
less
lot of
wet.
kimchi as well.
Yeah. Gotta have
Usually when I
A lot of
do
everything.
grill my kimchi,
Yeah.
I would like to see a little bit of burnt marks. I feel it tastes better.
Ah.
So when I go to those Korean barbecue, they hate me because I always put kimchi on top when I'm not supposed to, and I make it really sticky.
Are you not supposed to?
I don't know.
So that's what they do also.
I don't know. One of the restaurant told me, "Oh, don't do that."
Okay.
Oh.
What should I do? Okay, I'll put. Wait, let me wash my hand.
Okay.
Wow, you know, like in my head already, like I'm thinking recipe of kimchi coleslaw with peanut butter.
I think it will work.
It's a bit cold.
In fact,
You think that?
look at this.
Yeah. It's a bit cold.
Simple, but
Yeah.
what I would
Yeah.
do is I would add an egg.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Go fry one.
Okay, I'll put a bit more lah.
You want egg?
Huh? No, it's okay.
No. Okay. It's his creation. Don't mess around.
Yeah, but that's a good idea though.
I'm hungry now, man. Like, wow.
Okay.
Oh, what's the last one?
This is the final thing. It's like a doenjang sand, I would say. So it's like crushed peanuts. So I mix in like the doenjang, so like the Korean
doenjang?
miso.
Oh, Korean
Yeah.
miso. Wow.
Korean miso.
Fermented
Damn.
flavor. Oh, this is gonna
Yeah.
be like an umami bomb. You have
Yeah,
peanut
yeah,
butter is
it's
full of
gonna-
umami. This is full of umami, and then of course kimchi is like just packed full of that, and of course beef as well and cheese.
June's
And it also
like-
adds a bit of like crispy
Okay, we're not doing
texture,
the
I guess.
umami episode lah.
Hey,
Wow.
burger episode. Okay.
Dude, I'm gonna put this on the menu. I'm stealing it already.
Slap it on top.
Yeah, bro.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
That looks
that's
amazing.
a,
That
that looks like a legit burger.
Wow.
Even though he say he has never done it before.
Yeah.
Liar.
First time. Serious, the first time, bro. Oh, the peanut
man.
butter is dripping.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
good, man.
It's good.
Did you heat up the peanut butter?
No.
No?
Oh, so it just gets the heat from the kimchi and then it melts.
Yeah. No, like, it's already quite like gravity,
okay.
I guess.
You want me to cut it or you want to do it?
You can do the honors.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So this was behind camera
Yeah,
already.
the behind.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so this was all in my head. Came out. I think it looks fun.
That
Tasty how?
actually is a very good point you have to remember for discussion later. All in your head. Okay.
This one I can cut because this one stays.
Stays together a bit more.
Yeah.
Can.
Oh la la. Oh yeah, show the camera first. Camera eat first.
Woo! Okay.
My god, we need this kind of level of slutness.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
That sand gives a really nice texture.
You mean like when you say miso in what form? In paste form? Oh no, in
Yeah,
powder.
paste.
So
So
Oh.
it's like crushed up peanuts with sugar.
Blend it, is it?
Yeah.
with
I just
sugar.
with like
Okay.
and then the miso paste, and then I toasted it in the oven for like 20 minutes, half an hour.
Straight away, I think the idea of that kimchi coleslaw is happening already. Oh. Because when I eat it, right, the kimchi hits you first, so you think about that, and then the peanut butter comes in later. But when I chew it, right, it's so good. Wow, I learned a lot about burger making today actually. Like the construction actually matters a lot, Renyi. Like really a lot.
I think.
Wow.
I forgot, I was supposed to add a piece of lettuce. I think it makes a bit of difference.
That freshness, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say it needs a bit of freshness. Then I'm like, eh? I got
Wow,
lettuce
this
in the
thing
fridge.
is great, man.
Oh, should I
Right?
put lettuce?
Is that nice
Is
little
that,
sandy texture?
is this, yeah. For this and peanut butter, man.
That fermented taste that comes with it is good.
Wow.
I will make this.
Yeah. I
Any
think you can
recipe.
sell this, yeah.
No. Give it to me for free.
No,
I'll give you royalty every burger sold.
Wow. For this exact burger.
But it needs a little bit. Hey,
It needs a bit of freshness, right? So I was
it needs
thinking,
a
like,
bit of freshness.
yeah.
Cilantro.
No lah, maybe lettuce or
Actually, cilantro and peanut, yes.
lettuce or maybe cucumbers.
He's
Just
not
like
a
very
veggie guy.
thinly.
He's not a veggie guy. He's not gonna put it in, I tell you.
Then you want cilantro? You want cilantro as
He
well.
only eats cooked vegetable or pickled. Such a baby.
Yeah, it needs a bit of freshness, I would say.
Wow, that was quite
God.
an adventure.
Yeah,
I think we really spanned from one spectrum to the other, from dessert to combining. Yours is very savory, his is very dessert-ish. I think mine was kind of in between. But I learned a lot from experiencing everyone's perception of mixing and combining different ingredients that you usually don't.
Yeah.
So who won?
This one is a difficult one.
Home came into this today, right?
This one is
In
difficult.
competition mode. So
Actually, I don't know who won, but I know who lost. I know I lost. But I can't decide.
I thought you said that was the best
Yeah,
thing you
what
had
the
in
hell?
the
But yeah,
last few
best
years.
combination, but it wasn't a well-built burger.
I vote for June's actually. I think it's more. If you're talking about burger that would sell, and I would actually order again.
Yeah.
Mine is again, if on the spectrum of again, now we are. I'll say we are running our own businesses, right? So we need to create products that people want to buy over and over again. By that definition, I'll say June's one hands down.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would say Hong Yo Burger actually, even though you're too humble. But yeah, I think in terms of like sellability, I think people will just like the
In a
combination
different restaurant, it will probably do
for
better.
sure. Like ice cream,
we
hash
make the
brown
construction
burger.
easier lah. The roll.
Yes, yeah.
I was thinking blend the strawberry into a sauce rather than.
It could be. Yeah. And also in terms of like, for me personally, I actually really like the burger as well. Yeah.
And no one
Yes.
complimented on
Thank you.
my burger. Damn
I
it!
think,
And I think complimented to everyone.
Yeah,
No
to
lah.
choose one.
I think your burger is a winner already. It's already a working product. Yeah. Just
Yeah, out of all
it's
three,
more-
right?
yeah,
Yours
yeah.
was the one that
It's
actually
more like you screw
people
it up
buy
because
before.
That's because I
Yeah.
decided what to put it
Yeah.
on the menu.
Yeah.
They had no choice. But anyway, coming back to the topic.
Yeah.
So how do we dive deeper into what we experienced today?
Okay, so the question that I asked at the beginning of the show was like, why do some things taste good together? Do we know why these ingredients taste good together, right? But before we go into that question, right, let me ask you, right, what do you think flavor is? right? How do you know, scientifically speaking, right? What is actually, like, for example, taste of meat, taste of flavor of meat, flavor of our burgers just now. What is it actually?
From my understanding, it's basically chemical compounds that are interpreted differently from all our different senses. Namely, in this scenario, I would say the first would be both the taste and the smell.
Okay.
Right, those two play, I think, a majority of that sensory experience. And then, of course, visually, right, looking at it, you go like, oh wow, this is gonna taste good, or this is not gonna taste good. You already have a built perception. And then, of course, the text, what do you call it? The
texture.
Texture, or more on tactile
Tactile
experience, right? Holding it, whether it's soggy, it's crunchy, all those come into play, right? Holding a fried chicken, you don't want to touch a soggy fried chicken, you go like, hey, that's not good already, right? So I think it's all that. To me, that's what flavor, the experience of flavor is like. It's not just one. In fact, I think the other day you reminded me of this question, right? Where do you think most of our sensory taste, where do we derive the experience from? A lot of people think it's in the mouth. In fact, one of the videos you shared says that it's only 20% of the taste comes from your taste buds, while the other 80% actually comes from your nose, which explains why if you have flu, right, you can't taste anything.
I'm sure, Jun, you know the famous experiment where they make people taste things blindfolded, and a lot of times people can't tell what they are drinking
at
or
all,
what they're eating. But
that's just visual. Right? Imagine if you pinch your nose.
Blindfold and pinch your nose. Sorry.
So we should call ourselves the smell buddies.
Yeah, smell buddies.
We are one Y away from being smelly.
Actually, the name of our show, So I'll just do my fact, what I call my fact rap. So it's gonna be long.
You're gonna rap.
I'm not literally gonna rap, but it's like a rap. Like it's like a long speech about where all this is coming from. Right?
So this is the research done, basically.
So basically, when I started doing the research, right, like Renyi said just now, most of your perception of flavor doesn't come from your tongue. Right, your tongue only knows salty, sweet, bitter, salty, sweet, bitter,
savory,
umami, sour, and then there's the latest one. So they discovered you can actually detect fat, or how they describe as creaminess. So it's actually very limiting, right? Like 6 permutation, you won't get much flavor. It doesn't really explain like what's a strawberry, what's a durian, what's everything. So your actual understanding, your actual understanding of flavor, most of it comes from your nose. So 80% of flavor comes from the molecules, the volatile molecules that the food ingredient gets off into your nose, and this is where the subject gets very, very complicated. So scientists, what they do, right, is they take one ingredient, right, and then they try to analyze what are the exact molecules, chemical compounds
that makes up that
the
flavor.
Exact molecule actually that tells you that gives you that smell that you identify with.
But that being said, most of the smells are a combination of different chemicals. It's not just one, right?
So that is the good point, right? So when they break it down, right, there's actually about, let's say for one object, there's actually about 600, maybe around 600 molecules, right? And then if you see a graph of it, you will see like the quantities are varying. So what they think, how you identify smell or the flavor is, they try to identify the ones with the highest peaks. So the molecules which are most dense, it gives out the most, is what they think how you identify. Makes up
the most of the flavor.
The reason why we're talking about this, right, is because there is a theory in terms of food pairing, which is started by Heston Blumenthal, right? So accidentally, right, because you know Heston, right, he has all these weird combinations. He found a lot of weird combinations by accident, and he wants to understand them, so he pairs up with what we call like a food chemist or a flavor chemist. So that's what that guy did, right? So he took these two ingredients. Let's say, for example, the ones that he's famous for is caviar and white chocolate, right? Or another example, strawberry, like the one I did just now, strawberry and coriander. So he took these two ingredients and analyzed the molecules which it gives off. And what they found was, they claim they found was, they have matching molecules, right? So that's the theory. That's how the theory was first formed, right?
And I guess just to give people a bit of context, also, like for people who don't know Heston Blumenthal,
yeah,
he was this guy who he's a chef who owns. Is it still like 3 Michelin
It's called
it was called the
Fat
Fat Duck in
Fat Duck,
London,
yeah,
in the UK.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's
So
known
it's like
for
very
all these
famous. Yeah, known
weird
for-
combinations.
If I may add on to that, and I'm not saying I'm as great as Heston, but my theory in building flavors is almost similar. In the sense, but I didn't know the scientific theory behind it. What I did was, okay, A matches with B. B matches with C. Ingredient A matches with B. Ingredient B matches with C. But A and C might not usually go well together.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. How do you know A and B matches?
Okay, I'll give you an example, right? Like that dish that we had, the watermelon, right? Watermelon lychee, it matches because when I go to Mama, I order watermelon lychee jumbo drink.
Exactly.
I know that works.
Yeah.
Right? The watermelon and salted crispy pork, right? I know that works because someone has done the homework for me. I stole that idea.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, look, why don't we just bring that all together? So it could have been on my side just watermelon and beef, but the lychee part I knew added another layer of fruitiness that it needed. So that works. Another one, if you may allow me to add on, which is I have a burger called the Sting Bomb, which is Asian, the smelliest Asian thing that you can think of. Pad Thai, right? So we have a sambal Pad Thai with the smelliest Western ingredient you can think of, blue cheese, right? So these two, if you pair them together, don't really work too well directly. But for me, the unifying factor is pineapple. Why? Because when we eat sambal Pad Thai, there is also sambal nanas, which is pineapple sambal. Alright, so that works already. And then we have blue cheese. Blue cheese you usually eat with dry fruits, or it pairs well with dry fruits, which means the fruitiness of it does come through. So when I set out to make the world's stinkiest burger, right, I needed to find that unifying factor. And to me, pineapple was just laying right in front of my eyes. We already serve it. And the moment I put it in there, it made sense. So to me, that's, again, now that I hear what Hong has said, they probably had unifying or similar chemical compound that tied them together. And that is why when you put them together, it makes sense.
Here's where things get a bit funny, right? So I think for me this part teaches me that, right, because of my understanding of food, right, because of my size and my weight as well, and how much I love food and how much I'm obsessed with food, I find that it actually explains to me why I'm addicted to food. Because before this, it was a very simple explanation. You know, fat people are addicted to sugar, fat people are addicted to eating, fat people are addicted to carbohydrate, they're addicted to fat. And that is just oversimplification. Can you imagine how complex addiction to food is, right? It's almost the same way you're addicted to music, right? I see all these molecules as musical notes, right? And let's say you appreciate a taste of pineapple and apple is actually as complex as experiencing like a jazz notes, right? Like a jazz chord, right? So you have all this combination of molecules in a certain formation, right? Because we don't understand it, we just label it as the taste of apple, right? But actually there's a lot of scientific it's a very complex mechanism behind like your experience of food, right? Not to mention the texture part, right, which I didn't put a lot of effort to researching, but today I find that even by manipulation, changing texture technique, like let's say just now, for example, if I blend my strawberries with the balsamic and the ketchup, that would have been a totally different experience as well.
Or like we found like with Renyi's burger, like flipping it around.
Flipping it around was totally different because
what your sensory taste
first. So when I had it first way round was Renyi putting the patty on top, so I had the meat first, and then the watermelon sort of washes it away. Whereas if I had it the other way around, I had the watermelon first, and then the meat came in. It was like an explosion. So the watermelon actually makes the meat juicier. So it's the construction.
And that's why in some restaurants, or fine dining restaurants, they say, hey, look, this is a sequence of experiencing
the meal. Yeah. Having said that, right, so everyone thinks, oh, Heston is great. I mean, he's come up with a theory. And you know, like how far they're willing to take this theory, right? So what they're saying now, right, is there are companies in Europe, right? I think there's one in Belgium, right? So what they've done is they've taken all this food data, right? Collected all this data. They use a supercomputer to come up with an algorithm so that you don't have to do the work anymore. So that because the way that Renyi was explaining just now, okay, in my mind, there's this Pad Thai combined with blue cheese. Then from experience, I know this and I know that. They're saying like now with a click of a button, you can have all that, and they'll tell you that it guaranteed it works. So they have this food, what they call like a flavor tree, right? Like this It's like a list of ingredients with flavors, but then they'll tell you what matches with what.
So I think this one was done based on experience before the data that you said was compiled.
It does actually tell you what pairs
Yes,
well.
so I have
something like that.
So early in the days, that's how I worked on my flavor pairing. Then after that, I learned of this book called the Flavour Bible. And as you can see, it's very worn out. It's been with us for many years. So say for example, give me a common ingredient.
Common ingredient, let's go with apple.
Okay, apple. So I go to A, right? Give me a second. A, P, P. Chinese. Sorry, I don't know my spelling. A, R, P. Hey, I'm already past it. Where's apple?
You didn't go to school.
You need to go back to school, yeah. A for apple.
Here, okay. So apple has like a lot. That's right. Okay, it starts off here. So it will tell you, all right, season, autumn. Nowadays, I think you can get it every other day.
Oh, it even tells you the season.
Yeah. The taste is sweet and astringent. Function is cooling. Weight is medium. Volume is quite moderate. Okay. Anyway, what becomes fun is this part here, right? They literally just have a list of things that apple pairs well with. So some are quite common, right? So if I tell you apple pairs well with bacon, right? Or pairs well with bourbon,
beef,
cabbage, celery, chicken. These are things that when you mix tongue, it makes sense. Then there are the weird one, right? Apple pairs well with lychee, pairs well with peanut butter. In fact, have you guys had apple chips with peanut butter?
Yeah.
I love that. Right, that was a very surprising combination for me.
Okay.
Pumpkin. Right.
But it doesn't tell you the application.
It doesn't.
How
it doesn't. But you have to apply your own creativity.
In terms of like a flavor notes.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not like immediately you take this ingredient and this ingredient, you combine it together. It tastes good, but you gotta know, maybe a certain percentage of this and that. This to me, right, made so much sense when I watched Ratatouille, and I always use this as an analogy. Remember the time where he was trying to convince his cousin, hey, have this cheese, have this grape. On their own, they're great. Combine them together, and then there's a fireworks, and that's exactly what this. What makes it so exciting for me, right? So you can, again, apple is very simple. So let's say we have blueberries, right? Blueberries go well with oats, orange, maize, mangoes, right? It can be something savory.
Let's go with something hard. Does it have durian?
I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
But at the same time, okay, not to throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
But this is something that I learned from one of the teachers or chefs or lecturers at culinary school. This guy Chef Olivier, he's some French guy. He said that he believes that there's no 2 or 3 or any combination of ingredients that cannot work together. It's just a matter of the amount, the technique, how you cook it, how you plate it, how you end up combining it. But there are no 2 or 3 or however many combinations of things.
I absolutely agree with that. But I think this is like a cheat sheet. If you're stuck, this dish is missing something, and then you go through this list and go, hey wait, I haven't tried this before, and then you put it in there, and it might surprise you.
Actually, it's perfect timing that June you bring that up, because I was just about to go into that just now. So Heston came up with a theory, right? Summarize again. Heston came up with a theory saying that if the molecules are similar, they pair well together, right? But then again, other researchers have done way more extensive researches, and they found that actually it only applies for European cuisine, right? So maybe European and North America, ingredients with similar molecules do taste good together. But then again, when they do the sampling, they took the data from Asian countries, more South Asia or towards the South American side, they found the complete opposite, what they call anti-pairing. So they are saying, right, for our recipes, right, most of our ingredients don't have any molecules in common. So then all these opinions start coming in, like what June said, right? They are starting to say, actually the combinations doesn't actually matter, right? It's more like your cultural perception of it, right? And they also found a lot of weaknesses in Heston's theory, in the sense that sometimes, let's say just now, like what I did, you throw something weird and new to someone, like a strawberry with cilantro. People may say it tastes nice just because it's new to them, right? Whether or not they will stick to that as their food, we're not sure about that one also.
But what you bring on is a very important point. A lot of our perception of food, or flavors that make sense to us, is memories, is what we
Yeah.
grew up with. It lays that foundation. I used to not like, let's say, broccoli or cauliflower. Nowadays, I enjoy it very much. One of my favorite soup is cauliflower soup,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So
What was the switch?
I don't know. As I grew up, and I do try to eat where when I can, I try to eat just to like out in a dinner setting, eat lah.
Yeah.
But over the years, it kind of just actually I started enjoying this. I can't explain it, right? There are still veggies that I don't like, right? But I've learned to enjoy a lot of it more. But I realize that I'm not the only one, right? There are a lot of people who don't like certain things, and then over a period of time, they grow to like it, and it can be the opposite as well, right? But again, this is all due to your environment, the people that your beliefs, right? Whether you decide that I want to be a vegan because I don't believe that eating animals is right. So there are all these things that really shift your perception and your beliefs. Your perception of food and what you perceive it to be.
Yeah, it's I think that also brings up that discussion of, I think at the end, I'm not sure whether it's at the end of the day. I don't know whether it's a conclusion. I sometimes also feel, right, our preference in taste is actually not decided by us. It's decided by hundreds of years of evolution, right? And just because we stay in Asia and rice became our staple, right? A lot of our tastes, right? A lot of our dishes and tastes and all that are built around certain ingredients.
You know the joy of eating rice? I don't think a white person can understand it.
Yeah, like the best part is, one of the weirdest part, right? when I was studying there, right? A lot of my friends, they think rice as a salad ingredient. So they'll buy like rice salad and then they'll be like, I'm eating healthy today, I'm having rice. I'm like, no, right? It's one of the weirdest things.
But now in Asia, it's like, we want to eat more healthy, we cut down
rice.
So.
Yeah. So I also think, right, like they always say, what was it? Necessity is the mother of invention, right? It's like all these things. Like even sometimes I think about when I work, right? I always tend to end up using things which are available to me. I mean, especially now during these difficult times, right? I mean, or maybe it's because I progressed further down my career. I'm not actually as keen to experiment like last time, like this kind of crazy, wacky recipes. Right now, like for my own restaurant, what I try to do, right, is I always go for something which is a classic combination, but then I just try to elevate it a little bit more. Just that, because I think in terms of business and everything, right, I prefer the classics because it's hard to get bored of it. Yeah, rather than me go out and find all this crazy shit. I mean, Renyi might be totally different.
No, I think I used to be like that.
True, right?
I think
do you find yourself getting there?
Yeah, like we're going more classics than ever. The what do you call it? The philosophy that we apply has always been anchor and twist, meaning that you take something that is very common. So let's say a nasi lemak, right? You don't want to change the nasi lemak, but if you want to say do something different, you don't change the whole nasi lemak entirely. You don't change the rice, you don't change the anchovies, you don't change the peanut, right? You stick to it, but you give it that 10%, 20% twist, right? Whether you pair it instead of fried chicken, you do, I don't know, what do you call it, a wagyu rendang, right? That can be the twist because 90% of the time the dish I enjoy already.
Yeah.
You give it that little bit of a twist, I go like, that's nice, but I still am able to enjoy 90% of it.
And you give people like an avenue to like latch onto and like the dish as well, like through like, let's say the nasi lemak or like the wagyu rendang, right? Although people might not be very familiar with wagyu, when they have the rendang, it's like, oh, this is a familiar taste, but then how come it's like special? How come it's different?
So if you look at the dish that I had today, the watermelon, which was actually put on the menu, and why it's no longer on the menu, it's because it's too much twist and too little anchor.
That actually, this is one of the, I don't know, this is one of the things that may end me one day or so. Because I get frustrated. I get very, very frustrated over things like this. It's like, there are times where I find something exciting. I'm so excited. I rush back to my kitchen, I execute, and I straight away put it on the menu. And then within 1 month, we have to take it off the menu because it's either
too out there.
I wouldn't say it's too out there. I mean, like for me, watermelon and that one was not even too out there. And then
but to the public,
the public is already like you're challenging already.
Yeah,
right?
so maybe like that dish, right, it's like a good example because maybe to you guys and maybe a bit less so to me as well. Like the watermelon and beef or like meat,
any
right?
patty, right?
Yeah, it's like something that you guys have tasted before, right? Like that champagne pork
chicken,
or whatever dish it was, and also like lychee and can meet, right? Maybe it's like a familiar combination to you. So when you have that context beforehand already, then you're like, wow, this is in a new format. So the twist to you is like the 20%.
Yeah.
But then to other people who maybe never had that dish before,
It's 100%
at that
new
particular
dish.
restaurant, it's like, wow, this is so new. I'm like very confused by it. Yeah. And that was
Probably,
initially
I'm
what
thinking
happened
about
to me.
it, that salad,
Yeah.
we were probably the 2% that ordered it.
Probably that's why also the chef left and all that. I don't know if they still serve it.
But
Okay.
here's the thing,
Yeah.
as from a business point of view, right, we are slowly shaped by our customers' demand. We
Yes,
want to
yeah.
serve things that are, hey, look, guys, try this, right? This is like really crazy,
Yeah,
but
we
it's
are
really
like-
nice, try it. But people are spending money, right?
Yeah.
And when they spend money, they want to spend on something safe.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
the anchor and twist makes such
Yes.
an important
Yeah, I think
decision.
that's really
You
good.
give them what they want and say, hey, look, here's a little bit of surprise. And you go, oh yeah, I like that. Give me something absolutely different, and I'm paying, let's say, high price for it or top price for it. I'm not going to take the risk, right? And the unfortunate thing, and I know we're going to talk about that later, which is the whole industry is doing that over the last few years. And I've gone out there excitedly as a consumer to try, and a lot of times, unfortunately, I've been disappointed because people do weird combinations for the sake
Yeah.
of putting it on the menu.
Yeah, it seems like that's where the trend is going. I think it's more like it's probably to do with
To be
social
fair,
media
I
as well.
felt that yes, it
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Because
look
you
at
need
this
that
thing.
shock value,
Yes.
yeah.
Look, it's all black in color. The hot dog in
Yeah,
IKEA,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Look, there is peanut butter in this thing. It's not supposed to have. You know what I used to do? That reminded me.
Yeah.
One of the best latte that I've ever had.
Yeah, it was that the cone in the latte as well.
Not in a latte, but
Yeah.
in an espresso.
Espresso, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Actually,
okay.
there's a
It's
Like
Italian-
the
Italian-
McDonald's Sunday cone.
yes.
Yeah.
You put it inside espresso shot.
Yeah,
Best
yeah.
affogato ever.
Yeah.
So it's like an affogato, but instead of like a
But once the
ice
whole thing
cream, it's like
melts, it
soft
becomes like
serve.
the yes.
Yeah.
It becomes like the
It's too
creamiest.
sinful.
Oh
man.
my god, it's so good. Try it, trust me.
What?
Try it. Last time, because I think McDonald's didn't have their cafe range, so I would go to Starbucks, buy 2 shots. That one go in. The cone, I mean, I wrong lah. But then that soft serve with 2 shots of espresso, thank me later.
Okay, Jun, what about you? Because I'm very frustrated with Jun, right?
Why are you frustrated
If you
already?
guys don't believe me, right, go to his website, go to his Insta, look at all the great food he's made. You're never gonna have it.
Oh, that's a frustrating one, right?
Yeah.
It's like when people look at yours,
Yeah.
like, oh, I can go to
Yeah.
I can
But
go
what
to
he
Yeah.
ask him, he can say, make it yourself lah. I give you
Yeah.
recipe.
Yeah, I give you guys
That
recipe
is-
you can make.
It's like, but the things that he makes is like all these crazy combinations, right? Like mushroom cookies, and the one he made for Christmas for you was beef
the
beef mince pie.
Yeah.
Mince pie,
Yeah. And a lot of recipes. I mean, is kind of crazy. I mean, for me, what drives you, man? Like, what is your method? What is your is there any logic in your madness?
But the thing is, right, we don't know if it tastes good or not.
Hey,
You don't have to serve it.
Example today, mince pie tonight.
You got lucky today. Yes.
Yeah. Is there any method in your madness? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
I think for me, it always starts off with like a personal curiosity of mine. As I'm sure it is for the both of you as well, right? You want to have something that you personally don't like, right? So whatever like weird or kooky like flavor combination or recipe I come up with is always to do with my own desires to like try it out, right? So I maybe like, and the source can come from anywhere, like the inspiration can come from anywhere, to like readings, to just like talking to you guys, talking to friends, people who actually like cook and eat out a lot, and it's like hearing what people are cooking, what people are serving out there, and then I'm like, oh, what if you change it somehow? What if you try something different? So with all these, like just talking to people and whatnot, I just like write down some like a list of weird things that I want to try into this like board that I have. I have like online lister essentially on Notion, and then from there I will like on my weekly kind of like recipe development, I will pick like 1 or 2 or 3 of things from this list and just like
Try it out.
just make weird stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it does. Like today it worked. But in terms of like the science behind it, obviously I'm not as detailed or as like molecular as like what Heston does. And to me, I have like a few like shortcuts or a few things that I know, like, okay, this I'm curious about this thing and I'm pretty sure that it will work. Like 80-90% sure that it will work.
But all of this is based on experience.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
yes. A bit
It's what
based
you
on
read,
experience.
what you've experienced yourself, what you've eaten, overseas when you travel. All this comes together. The ability to actually tie all this different knowledge together, I think that's key. It's not like, oh, how did he come up with this? Why is it like so magical? It's not. It's the individual experience that makes up the sum of who he is for him to decide what to put in his recipe.
So I think to summarize, right, I think observing on our discussion, the three of us together, I feel like we have there's definitely a clear way of doing things that the three of us have, which I assume is this. We make a hypothesis, right? I think we're a product of the Malaysian education system. We make a hypothesis based on our knowledge, right? We come up with a hypothesis that we want to test. So in our head, we say this ingredients and that ingredient combined together may work because I've had this before and that before. If we join it, what will happen? And then we execute. You go back to your labs and you go back to your kitchen. I go back to mine. We make it out, and then from there we tweak it so that it's acceptable.
Yeah,
right?
you dial it
We
in.
manipulate the whole thing, or if the experiment fails, like mine just now, we go to another one and we try to change what we think is wrong.
But having that,
analyze,
you immediately know what is the next few steps to refine
that's the
it.
funny thing. Yeah. So I think what makes us different from let's say someone who maybe wants to start their culinary journey, right, is I think your like Renyi just mentioned just now, your experiences is probably your most valuable weapon. Would you say that? Because I don't know about you guys. I think mine came naturally. Like you can see me, you already know I eat.
For the love of food.
Yeah, for the love of food, my range is pretty huge. And I remember when I first met Renyi, right, I've never in my life, right, met a group of people, right, who made such a big effort to go and try new stuff all the time. But that's like the reason why we're friends actually, right?
Yeah.
And then
No,
I think
there's no
soon
food, right, we
June
are
will
not
be,
friends already, right?
yeah, exactly. It's like our gang is like always sharing what's trending, what's the new stuff,
What YouTube video we saw.
We even go to Vietnam together and try all the weirdest shit possible, right? Just to with I think the difference with let's say a normal tourist and us, we went there with a conscious intention to record all these experiences in terms of food.
With our mouth.
Yeah, with our So I think that is our method, which I think is nice and is good. But there is another layer of craziness. There are these people who are called flavor chemists, which I mentioned just now, and this is bloody no joke, right? These are the people who design your Fanta orange, your mint candies, your ketchup,
Grape
your
Fanta.
ice creams, all this commercial stuff. And it's no joke. You will literally have to have a chemistry degree or master, and then take another 5 years to understand flavor, right? So it's a very, very serious job. It's very multi-billion-dollar business
Industry.
because it's actually their clients are big boys like Coca-Cola, all these big food manufacturers. So what they do, right, is they go out into nature, right? Let's say they will go into an orange farm, right? They'll taste the oranges in that farm. They find the best one orange, right? And then everyone tastes and try and suss out what makes it great. By identifying the notes that they want, they will take the sample, go back into the lab, find
Break it
out
down.
what the molecules are,
And recreate it.
and
But
try
that
to
being
replicate.
said, they can never recreate 100%.
Yes.
That's why,
Yeah.
vanilla, which is a great example, real vanilla and,
And
Or like banana, like the synthetic
Yeah, it's
banana.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how serious this is, right? To the point that, right, they're saying, right, most of the vanilla we taste is not the actual vanilla. Because the consumption is so great, there's no way we can grow enough vanilla for everyone. Right? So this is damn big business. And I find, right, even in that sense, right, so when they go back to the lab, right, they actually have to sort of pick and choose the notes, the molecules, which is the best
Closest.
pack. So they call this flavor packs. So they will actually design it as if you're composing a piece of music or a chord, right? And then sell that to the big companies, and that becomes the taste that we know. It is so crazy that I don't know whether our restaurants will ever evolve to that level. Do you
No,
think-
it's very
I
different.
think we're
from
already
what
doing
we do.
that. Like if you look at any other cafe out there, hazelnut latte, pumpkin spice latte. Do you think that is real pumpkin spice? Do you think that is real hazelnut?
I mean, like, do you think we can sort of start thinking or working at that level? I suppose we know Ning, our friend Ning, the chocolatier, he go and buy that machine. The one that the one that extracts
Flavors.
essential oils from ingredients. Yeah. So I don't know whether that's the next step for us.
I think it's very, very different because I know a few people who work as like flavor chemists, like food scientists, right? Their job is no longer like cooking.
Yeah,
Like, they're not cooking anymore. And if you like cooking, right, when you do that job, right, it's like you're not
You lost all
enjoying
passion
it.
already,
It's more like you're working in a science lab. You're trying to put together a few compounds that gives you like a banana taste at the end.
Yeah.
Gives you a vanilla taste.
Let's not even talk about as far as that. The current craze, plant-based meat, right? How do you make soy taste like meat?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I think for sure, this technology or whatever they're doing now, even though it's at a high level, they are saying that it's still at its infancy.
Yeah.
So I look forward to the day when they can just at the press of a button replicate that pie that their mother made, or the taste of Burger Lab's smell. Everything is like. But the understanding of the science behind it is so refreshing.
I want to say, talking about smell, right? Let's say the burger lab smell, but what about Auntie Anne's or Famous Amos? Do you think? I always suspected that
I
they
think
have.
those
they
are
have
definitely designed by the flavor chemists.
I think there's like a machine that pumps up.
Yeah.
No,
Those are definitely-
I don't know. I suspect
Those are
that.
that one I think confirm. I don't know. I don't think it's
my
as simple
God.
as cinnamon. Right? Because that thing is dangerous, right? I walk by, I'm like, my wallet up. It's like,
You can smell it from a mile
yeah,
away.
it's like, dude.
I think
don't
it's like, okay, I
accident.
think initially, wait, was it like Cinnabon or
Yeah,
like,
Cinnabon as well.
or like
Cinnabon,
Auntie Anne's?
Yeah, both of them.
I think I read
together.
an article or something or in a book where initially, obviously it wasn't like an intentional thing, but when they put themselves in the mall and then the smell just like wafts everywhere,
Yep.
they realized it was like drawing people in.
Yes.
So then they just like played that up like
Yes.
a lot. Yeah, I don't think it's
I'm
like
quite sure there's
some air,
diffuser.
yeah, diffuser
I'm
somewhere
quite
just
sure
like
it is.
put out.
No,
No,
I
but
don't
I
think
mean,
so.
but I mean that specific smell is probably designed. I don't think it's an accident.
Really?
I think so. That's what flavor chemists do. They design that specific smell that they say they aim for. They want to create craving. They want that specific combination of molecules that make you crave that shit. Yeah.
I can see that in like all those like more, I guess, like supermarket sort of product. But in like a Cinnabon or like Auntie Anne's,
We need to go.
I still believe,
We need to go undercover.
undercover. I mean, they probably come in.
and then you see them loading a capsule,
Yeah,
like, putting the air out.
And I think what drives this is because we eat for pleasure.
that's,
If we eat just to survive,
Yeah.
right, we wouldn't be saying, hey, look, I want fried chicken to taste that way
Yeah.
because I need it to sustain myself.
Yeah.
I'm eating it because it tastes damn good.
That is also another rabbit hole that I'm not ready to go down to. Now, I mean, serious question, guys. Have you ever wondered, right? You ate something like the best thing you ever ate, right? Let's say I had durian. It was the best durian that I ever had. I'm pretty sure I can't eat it more than 10 times. I don't know why. The answer, there is still that question, like we don't know why.
It's
Like-
fatigue lah. It's
yeah,
that flavor
yeah.
fatigue.
Yeah, but why? What? Even if it's evolutionary, like what is it for? Isn't that the best condition if we can survive on a
No,
spoon?
it's like it
Yeah.
will kind of. I guess there's the whole regression to like the mean or to the average, right? Like if you always have good experiences like every day,
Becomes
it will become very normal for you. So then if you have a good day like for like 6 days out of the whole week, on the last day you have a very average day. Maybe one small thing happened that went wrong. You'll feel like, wow, that was a horrible day, right?
Actually, this is not a good discussion because I'm gonna start asking you, right? Then why people get married? Ooh,
Wait, this is
What?
not that.
same. You're like, oh, I see you every day. Oh, let's not go there.
Or like you can argue that like what you do anything, right? But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
marriage is like a different thing.
Yeah, sure.
But I think like
Coming back to the topic.
Yeah, coming back to the
yes,
topic.
coming back to the topic of food.
Okay. So you think like if you have repeated experience,
Yes, you kind of
the high-
desensitize yourself.
Yeah.
But
So,
which is like, you know, when I asked him, hey, you want to eat steak at your place or not? He's like, bro. you know,
I can't.
Yeah.
just like if you ask me, hey, do you want to have burger lab at your restaurant? I'll be like, no, you'll come now, I'll host you lah, but I won't eat one.
Yeah.
Right? It's not because I don't like my product, it's just that I've had enough of it. But do I enjoy other people's burger? Does he enjoy other people's steak? Probably.
Yeah.
Right? But we need that differentiation. Right?
Like if I give you
Why? But why? Do you know like?
I think
it's like if I give you
I know the science, right? There actually is a physical mechanism in your brain, right? So your brain actually, the neuron or whatever, it will actually block itself if it sees a repetitive pattern. So it will not allow.
So is it a human condition? Because my cats, right, they eat the same shit, they're okay one. Every
exactly?
day.
Which is
yeah,
which
they're
I think-
okay until you give them like something, I don't know, like
Yeah.
like bacon or
But
something.
now
And then-
it's not talking about what do you call it, a better experience.
Yeah.
We believe that our product is good. Technically, we should enjoy eating it every day.
But it's like you see the difference. Like you say, right, animals don't seem to have this problem. It's just us humans, and I don't know why. Like I don't think there's an explanation to it.
But I think it's a first world problem.
Yeah, in terms of function.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely
which is also it can also work in reverse, right? I remember, right? I was in the jungle camping for I think it was like 7 days, right? So 7 days I was in the jungle. We were having just river water, you know, just simple food like nuts and Maggie, right? I remember the first day I left jungle, right? I went to grab mineral water. Right? That water tasted like liquid gold, man. It's
I
like,
thought like the jungle water very fresh.
not really. Wow. Right, but you suddenly appreciate every single nuances of a mineral water that is perfectly filtered. It comes off a bottle. It's at that temperature, and it's like every single. It's like our taste, our flavor craving, and how it works it really boggles my mind, yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I think we're going way too deep. Really.
All right, shall we wrap it up?
All right, guys. Thanks for everything. We hope you enjoy our food porning-ish episode today. Catch you to the next one. Ciao.
Adios. Bye bye.